Currently, on Activities page, we have 6 button components. And as a reminder, in our application, button is represented by base button component. And this component contains local object called type classes, which stores CSS classes for every button type. But the thing is that everything that is contained within a script tag in every Vue component is executed every time we initialize a new instance of this component, which also means that our type classes object will be created every time we will create new base button component. And just to make sure that it is really the case, we're gonna print something in a console in here and see how many times this instruction will be printed. And in a browser we have the following, saying that base button log was printed 30 times. And the reason why it was printed 30 times is that on Activities page we currently have 6 base button components, and also we have 24 instances of base button on timeline component. So in total we get 30 button components initialized in our application, which proves the point that this log was executed exactly 30 times. One time per component instance, as well as everything that is contained within a script of Vue component. But since type classes object should be the same for all base button components, it doesn't really make sense to recreate it every time we're gonna initialize a new base button component. And for such cases, whenever we need some logic to run only once, when component module gets initialized, instead of using script with keyword setup, we can use normal script tag. And right here we will place initialization logic that will not be related to any particular Vue component instance. We're gonna place here our object type classes, since this is a static object, and it will be the same for all base button components. So this way we're gonna make this object be initialized only once. And of course here we reference some constants, so let's cut import instruction from here and move it to our new script tag. And after doing all these changes, in the browser we're supposed to see that log base button will be printed only once, which is exactly the case in here. No matter how many button components were created during lifetime of the application, we still get only one base button log, because that script tag where we put that log is actually module initialization script and not component initialization script, so it will be processed only once. Let's remove this log statement from here. And so in cases when we need to execute some initialization logic, which is not directly related to a particular instance of Vue component, we can use normal script tag. But please note, such Vue-specific functions as define props, define emits, ref, computed, etc., they all are directly related to a particular Vue component instance, and therefore they should be called inside of script with a keyword setup. And that is why we haven't moved this define props macro inside of our normal script tag.